Once upon a time, there was a gym influencer, and she decided to open a women's only gym. And the gym bros hated that. But then she clarified, it's not just a women's only gym, it is a female only gym, at which point the women hated her too. And this poor woman just simply couldn't win. The end. Okay, jokes aside, this is a real story. It's amazing because sometimes things do still surprise me. And this one definitely did exactly that. I was not originally going to talk about this story, but then it took a plot twist. And now I am deeply, deeply intrigued by what is happening. So we're going to get into it. But before we do, this is your reminder to subscribe to this channel. We are getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. So I would really, really, really appreciate and value your subscription and a thumbs up on this video. If you want to follow me on any other social medias, those are linked down below. As always, you can pretty much find me anywhere. And without any further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so this whole thing started about 2 or 3 weeks ago when a fitness influencer named Natalee B Fitness on all of her social medias, went viral for announcing that she is opening a women's only gym. I believe that she is in London. Now, this gym looks very cute, if I'm being totally honest. It's called the Girl Spot. The walls are pink. I presume the equipment's going to be pink. I presume it's going to smell really nice. This actually looks like a very... I would go there. Like this gym, if this was near me, I would be there, okay? But for some reason, it deeply upset the gym bros. And they were coming hard at her, and the attacks were basically, you're gonna fail. Women go to the gym for male attention. Women only go to the gym to be looked at by men. Yada yada, the type of rhetoric that you would expect from this type of man. Now, as a woman who goes to the gym, I can say for myself, I do not in fact go to be looked at by men. I go to get fit. Look at these guns. Okay, just kidding. There's nothing there. But if there were, then that would have been a more impressive moment. Regardless, moving on, I go to get these guns, okay? It is a very serious business. The faces that I'm making at the gym, they're not cute. Nothing about being at the gym is like a cute thing, right? So now that's not to say that there are not women who go for male attention. Believe me, you can tell when a woman is at the gym for male attention. It is quite obvious, okay? But to discard the whole idea is a little bit extra, right? And naturally, this got the attention of millions of women online who jumped to Natalee's defense, because this woman has been working on this gym, I believe, since 2021, and it's finally getting closer to opening. And there are just all of these angry men coming at her for truly, for no reason. I mean, come on. However, Natalee then put out a video 2 days ago that this gym is not just only for women. It is only for females, which means trans women are not allowed inside the gym. And when I tell the tide turned so fast, this woman's head has to be on backwards. She has to be dizzy. I mean, truly, she probably had an idea that the backlash would be severe, but people turned on her so fast. Now, I do want to say not everybody. Of course, there are going to be people who aren't mental who still support her, because frankly, as we will get into, this is the only correct stance to take in such a situation. But the response online has been dizzying. So essentially, I think a lot of the backlash comes from this tweet that she had put up in 2021. It reads, "Respectfully, if you have a problem with trans women attending my gym, then you can find another gym to train at. I have discussed this several times before. Trans women are women and also a minority that needs to be protected. Please keep your transphobia away." So clearly, Miss Girl had a change of heart somewhere along the line. And people are so pressed. Now, this video that she posted was at around 60 million views on X, before she went private. I think she is off private now. Good for you, girl. Stand your ground. And so let's just take a look at this initial video that she put out.
In 2021, 4 years ago, I made a tweet, and the tweet referenced my women's only gym, the Girls Spot, and being trans inclusive. Now, when I made that tweet in 2021, I had just announced my plans to open a women's only gym. I hadn't thought out the vision or the mission or what it would entail, but all I knew is that I wanted to open a gym. We are now 4 years later, and I have had a great deal of time to figure that out. The Girls Spot Gym exists as a safe space for women because women are facing gym harassment, sexual assault, and sexual violence inside of gyms, and I know that because I'm a victim of it. So the meaning of the Girls Spot Gym is now entirely different, and I say this to say that whilst we are a gym, inside we are focusing on self-defense classes, Muay Thai, boxing classes, as well as workshops and activations around PCOS and training on your menstrual cycle, all of which occur to biological women. Majority of the women who are seeking my women's only gym, the Girls Spot, are coming here because they have faced some level of gym intimidation or sexual violence and assault that has been perpetrated by men. So as the owner of the gym, it is very important to make it clear how my women's only gym will be operating, and it will be operating as a single sex space for biological women. Now, we do believe that everybody deserves a safe space, and there are many gyms that are starting to have mixed cubicles and changing rooms so that individuals can feel safer and more included in these environments. But the Girls Spot Gym as a standalone is a female-only gym because it is imperative that I stick to the vision and the mission and ensure that these women feel safe.
Amen. I mean, no comments. Frankly, she nailed that. She's very articulate. She's very well spoken. She's very calm. She's very clear in her reasoning. If your main priority or concern is to protect women from men, then perhaps the first step to do that would be to not allow men into this space. Because like it or not, trans women are men. And unfortunately, I know this is gonna rock some people's worlds, biology does matter. And if your goal is to protect women, then you have to take that into account. Because the bottom line is no, not all trans women are predators. Obviously, frankly, there are trans women that I can think of that I would be perfectly comfortable sharing a space with. However, the trans movement has reached a point where predatory men can now identify as a woman and use the trans identity as a shield for their predations. And the whole philosophy of if they say they're a woman, they are a woman, and you don't have to look any further into it. In fact, my questioning this right now is probably going to make me a transphobe. That ideology is what has led to this. Girl, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I don't even know how she got under there. Sorry, I'm so easily distracted by them. They're so cute. Anyways, back to being a serious bitch. What's crazy is the trans movement it started with trans women are women, right? And the idea behind that was that the idea of a woman is a social construct. Like, what is a woman? You know? So rightfully we said, well, trans women are males. Let's use biological terms. Let's speak in terms of sex, male, female. A trans woman is never going to be a female, ever. But there are people online, because of all of this, there's one tweet in particular that is really going viral that says that trans men are biological women. Or I'm so sorry, I keep saying that trans women are biological females. And it's just patently insane. And it is this sort of thing that is really pushing people away from the trans movement. Like, I gotta say, I don't have skin in the game in this. Whatever. If you're a consenting adult, I truly don't care. But as an outsider looking in, I've been trying to explain this, and I just don't feel like people are getting it. The idea and pushing the philosophy that trans women are the exact same thing as women is the reason why you are losing ground. Okay, it's the reason why this movement is becoming less popular over time, right? And isn't that kind of the inverse of what is supposed to happen when you're advocating for something? Isn't it to help it gain popularity? Yeah, notice the backtrack. It's becoming less popular. It's the movement, I would say, has gone like this. It hit a peak maybe 2014, 2015. You guys were doing pretty good. And then it started going downhill maybe around 2020 because everyone went insane, because it goes so against reality to say that trans women are biologically female is so, like, it's just so factually false. And I hate to use this phrase because I feel like it's been beaten like a dead horse, but truly the facts here do not care about your feelings. They do not care if you feel like this is a microaggression, okay? You're not a woman. You're not a female. And it's interesting because the types of attacks that I have seen Natalee getting, when it was just that she had announced that she was getting closer to opening this gym and she was getting attacked by gym bros, what I saw was a lot of, you're gonna fail, women just want male attention, those kinds of things. And now that she has pivoted to say that it's a female only gym and she has women and men attacking her, the attacks have shifted in nature to, like, I'm gonna find your address so that I can come shoot you kind of thing. And I'm not even joking. Like, here, I'm just gonna put some on the screen of the responses that she has gotten to this announcement. It is truly, like, a lot. Like, maybe chill, maybe calm down, maybe it's not that big of a fucking deal, right? This one was incredible to me. I'm gonna show you guys here. So we have a trans man who said, "Can't wait to come use your gym as a safe space, diva," because this person is biologically a female. And this response says, "I guess this is the closest you will become to being a male," threatening women. And ain't that just the truth, right? The people who are most upset about this are trans women, naturally, who are men. Now, of course, this did open the door to people asking, like, how are you going to know for a fact? Like, if Blair White comes into the gym, you're not exactly going to just immediately clock her as being trans. I saw this tweet and I thought it was pretty poignant. It says, "Social contract used to be enough to keep most men out of women's spaces, but the fact that you'll ignore the sign and try to gain access anyways shows that you're more of a threat than the average man, not less." And again, ain't that the truth? Now, thankfully, Natalee has not backed down. In fact, she hasn't even doubled down, she has tripled down. I mean, this woman is sticking to her guns, and God bless her. Frankly, she put out a statement defending her whole ideology and the thought process that went into it, and then she put out a second video. Let's check that out.
That is circulating on the internet right now, and it's very heavy. It is a lot, and I think a lot has also somewhat been misconstrued. And for anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, essentially I posted a video and I said that my women's only gym, the Girl Spot, will be operating as a single sex space. So it'll be female only. So at this current time, it won't be trans.
Can we just acknowledge how insane it is that she even has to clarify that the women's only space is single sex? Like, once upon a time, that was just understood. And isn't it insane? Like, insane that it's controversial. The thing about lived out women is that they will advocate against their better interest without even recognizing it. And man, foolish.
Inclusive. And I want to preface and say that this decision was not made lightly. It took me 4 years to make this decision, and I spent a great deal of time speaking to trans women. I spoke to charities, I spoke to Muslim women, I spoke to so many different communities about this topic. And what really saddens me is that so many people are saying that I'm transphobic. I thoroughly researched. I seeked legal advice. I spoke to communities. I spoke to trans women themselves, which I found very important to do so, to see how to navigate all of this, because I am not trans. So obviously the decision to make it was not based on excluding any individuals. It wasn't based on malice, nothing of the sort. The decision was based on the simple fact that I have been sexually assaulted inside of a gym. That is why I stand here as a women's only gym owner. I was sexually assaulted inside of a gym, which means a lot of trauma and a lot of emotion and well-being is behind this project. This is not just a gym. Like, so many of the women that are coming to my women's only gym is because they have also been sexually assaulted or sexually harassed or faced gym intimidation inside mixed gyms and faced that by men. So it's very important to know that this was not an easy decision. I didn't just wake up. I didn't just say, oh, no trans women allowed. Like, I've really thought this through. And like, when I made that tweet in 2021 about being trans inclusive, I had just started this project. I was 21 years old, or 20 years old actually at the time. And what the girl spot meant then is not what the girl spot means now. And that is why I said in my video that I'm labelling it as a single sex space and it will be female only, because I want to do so many classes around self-defense so that women can defend themselves against men, so that like boxing and Muay Thai is so incredibly important at the girl spot. And I want to do classes on like PCOS and like hormone imbalances. And
I know that the trans activists are going to be like, well, trans women can take Muay Thai too, and they need self-defense. PCOS? I'm pretty sure that you're not experiencing that or a menstrual cycle because you're a man.
Training on our menstrual cycle, so it is very much female orientated, you know. And I so strongly believe that everybody deserves a safe space. Like, if you are a true authentic follower of mine, you know that I am not transphobic. You know how much I stand for safe spaces for everyone. It's so incredibly important to me, and that's why this really has gotten to me, because
that is such an incredible point, because she's saying that everyone deserves to have a safe space. And why aren't women allowed to have a space there's no males? Okay, like, how are you gonna sit here and call yourself a full feminist and be against this? I'm sorry, but there has to be a line somewhere. There has to be.
This is not how I ever anticipated this to go. Of course, I know that people would be hurt and feel a way about it, but like, I care so much about safe spaces, and I believe trans women deserve and need their own safe spaces, you know. Like, it's a really kind of difficult space to navigate. And like, I am one single independent gym owner. My gym is tiny, you know. I'm nowhere near the size of like LA Fitness or David Lloyd's if you're in the UK. Like, I'm one very small gym. And I know a lot of people said, why don't you have trans only hours or a trans space inside of the gym? Like, the gym is tiny. It's a very boutique gym, and like, I'm very limited, you know, and I don't have the capital and all of that. So whilst I understand the
entitlement, I guess is the right word, to presume that this young woman who opened a gym, that's a very impressive feat. I think she's my age. She's 25. So to have accomplished this at 25 is very impressive. To expect that she's going to cater to a group of people that's not her mission. Her mission is to protect females. And I hate that I even have to say females. I should be able to just say women. But then we're going to be hit with trans women are women. Well, you're not. You're not. But let's just stick to female, okay? Make it better for everyone. I'm going to say it one more time. The fact that feminists are against female spaces is absurd. Absurd.
Anger around backtracking in terms of what I said in 2021. Like, I do feel bad about that. But the reason why it is female only is so incredibly important. You know, like, I want so many girls and women to feel so safe. Like, this is very much coming from a trauma and assault perspective. Like I said, like, I don't know if I would be standing here today if I wasn't sexually assaulted inside of a gym. Like, that was my driving force. And like, I feel like so many people have looked over it, which really upsets me also, because like, that was such a huge thing, you know, like, any woman that experiences sexual assault in any degree is awful. And I'm getting so much hate and so much comments and everything. And I feel like nobody's really understanding that I've been a victim of insane, like, harassment, intimidation, assault, and it's been awful. And I just say all this to say, like, this was not a light decision. This was not me plucking this out of thin air or wanting to exclude trans women. I've spoken to so many. I even spoke to charities, you know. So, yeah, I just wanted to clear it up and offer clarity on why I am doing this. And the real true meaning behind the girl sport and everything that will be going on inside. I know to many people, everyone thinks it's just a gym that will have, a treadmill or two and women can just come down. No, like, there are workshops, activations, events, classes that are so specific to feeling more equipped. I'm partnering with women in safety charities that sell certain things like panic alarms, rape alarms, because I care so much about women's safety. So yeah, I just wanted to put this out there and like clear it up of sort, or just really dive into why I am doing this and why I've taken this stance. And like I said, everyone deserves a safe space. Trans women deserve a safe space, but it's just a really obviously tough realm to navigate as one single independent person.
So once again, we have a very, very, very eloquent, well-spoken, well-tempered statement. And there's nothing wrong with this. She's right. She's right, and she should stand 10 toes down on it, and she is. It's quite incredible, actually. It's not often that you see somebody standing by their convictions to this extent, and so it's particularly impressive when it does happen. Now, one interesting point of this is that when she was crowdfunding for this, people are now saying that like she took donations from the LGBTQ community who were like under the impression that trans people would be involved or whatever. So she put up one other statement saying that if you are somebody who donated to her startup through GoFundMe, thinking that it was going to be inclusive for trans people, send her I think she put up a link to send the confirmation email, because when you donate through GoFundMe, you get a confirmation email. It has like your name, it has all your information on it, the amount you donated. Send that to this link, you will get a code, you will be refunded. So she's really covered all of her bases. She went about this very, very, very well. She's very, very tough woman. I mean, this is a badass woman. I stand by her. I'm a huge fan of her. Didn't know who she was before this, but I'm just so impressed by her courage and her conviction and her authenticity, and her eloquence, her grace through it. I could go on and on. This is a very, very impressive young woman. So, and she's a mother. She's a mother on top of all of it. Man, this woman. But anyways, that is all that I have for you guys. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that she should let trans people into the gym, or is it okay for females to have their own spaces? You let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's wrong. I don't think she is. If you do disagree or disagree with anyone in the comments, I just ask that you are respectful about it. And with that, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.